Osiris.
What's going on, everybody? This is The Drop. I am back. It's been a week or so. It's Friday, June 2nd. Appreciate you joining. There's a few things I want to tell you about. The first thing is that we have a brand new show that we're pushing out through the Undermine feed. It is called We've Got a Band, and two journalist friends of ours, James Dell and Gabby Bluestone, they proposed this idea, which is a really good one, and we got together with our friends at Section 119 to make this happen. And they, James and Gabby, have interviewed a bunch of really well-known people who also happen to be Phish fans. So there's some people you might know already that they interview, like Katie Tour and Jake Sherman, even Dan Cantor, of course, who plays with Justin Bieber. But there's also Chris Witaski, who's an actor, Austin Kroll from Bravo, the 127 Hours Mountaineer Aaron Ralston, and a bunch of others. I'm going to play the trailer for this show at the end of this, so just stick around for a second, and you'll be able to hear the trailer, and that'll go on for 8 or 10 episodes, and then we will come back, and it's not officially a season of Undermine. It's Undermine Presents. We're putting it out through Undermine, and if there's a second season, which we hope there will be, that will probably become its own feed. But for now, you can find that wherever you get Undermine. So stick around just a minute. We'll get back to that. All right, HF Pod 40 for 40. We hit the end of 1.0 today. At 4 p.m. Eastern, we're going to be pushing out our 9/15/2000 episode. We're going to do it live on video. You can find that on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, maybe that's it. So check that out. Inside the Musician's Brain with Chris Pandolfi has a new episode with Chris Funk of the Decemberists, who's also a producer. Chris has such great conversations, so check that out. We have a new episode of Brokedown Podcast from Jonathan, of course. Always interesting, and he gets deep always with his guests, but he has Aaron Feder on there, who's the leader of Afro Dead, and that's an interesting conversation worth checking out. Our HF Pod co-host Megan and, of course, Ryan Storm are doing a new podcast called Things of Gold, where they're going through Snarky Puppy releases. They just released episode 6 with a 2017 show from Poland. They go through these. They talk about the music, and if you're learning about Snarky Puppy or you want to learn about Snarky Puppy, it's a great show. Beyond the Pond, our other HF Pod co-host Brian Brinkman, they are going to start doing Beyond the Pond again more frequently. They're going to do a little bit of a 2003 thing, and so tune into Beyond the Pond if you're not around there. They're going to connect spring 2023 with winter 2003 by looking at 4 jams, and then they talk about jazz albums and a bunch of other stuff. So if you miss Beyond the Pond, they're coming back. Make sure you're subscribed. Of course, you can find that wherever you get your podcast, but I'll put a link in the show notes. That's a lot. That's a lot of stuff. I'm going to play the trailer for We've Got a Band, and I hope to see you all back here. Let me know if you enjoy what we're doing here. If you want to support what we're doing at Osiris, check out Osiris Premium, which is osirispod.com/premium. You can pay $5 a month and help us do what we do here. And lastly, if you're in the Philly area, I'm going to be at the Unlimited Devotion shows this weekend, which are going to be awesome. There's 2 days of music. There's going to be so much going on. Tonight, June 2nd, and tomorrow, June 3rd, our friends, Aaron Magner, Mark Brownstein, who else? There's going to be, tonight there's tomorrow night, Saturday, I'm going to go to Spaga Plays Dead with Aaron, Jason and Matt from Spaga. Then there's an all-star set with Steve Kimmock, Carl Denson, Mark Brownstein, Jackie Green, Ray and Russ from Tab, Kanika Moore, and then there's an Everyone Orchestra set, a Twisted Dead set. That's just Saturday. There's Friday as well, and you can watch this all on Nugs, so check that out. And if you're going to be at the Ardmore Music Hall, hit me up and come say hi. All right, I'm going to leave it there. Here is the trailer for We've Got a Band. Please subscribe to the Undermine feed to get that if you haven't already, but download, give us reviews. Hope you enjoy. See you next week.
We've Got a Band on Osiris Media is a new podcast for Phish fans and their fans. I'm Gabrielle Bluestone.
And I'm James Dell.
we're sitting down with some of the band's most well-known followers, celebrities who spend their free time at shows, reference Phish songs in their art, and even slip lyrics into the evening news.
I had a crush on a boy in high school who really liked Phish. At first was like, all right, I guess I'll listen to this band, you in your car, just so I can hang out with you. You know, we had a little bit of marijuana.
I guess around the time that I was working with Bieber is when I went to see my first Phish show.
I guess that's how people know me in a lot of ways, the guy that cut his arm off. And Phish was right there with me, even in the moment when I pulled that boulder on my arm.
It's just the fact that, like, Trey knows who I am now because of this.
You know, every once in a while somebody will be like, you were the guy from Harpua.
I was at an MSG show and someone came up to me and said, you look like that guy who does Phish on MSNBC. And Sam sent it to this person like, don't you think he might actually be that guy since we're at a Phish show?
There's like, 25 people every show that, find me and approach me. And, and then I'm tall as hell too. So, after a show, I learned very quickly, I'm like, no more taking drugs.
Coming soon to a podcast platform near you, Undermine presents We've Got a Band, sponsored by Section 119.
Let's get down to the nitty gritty and get the show on the road,
Osiris.